Okay, if you are able to see my screen, means let me know. You're able to see my screen?
Yes, Krishna.
Yeah, actually here if you see my server is starting, I'm using a server called Tomcat server to actually suppose if you got the same error yesterday, what we got some error, right? Like port number is not available because of that server is not starting. We have some server.xml file there we can go and we can change the port number. Okay, this is very basic troubleshooting when you're running any web application server when you have that error. Okay, so just keep in mind now our data is coming from the backend. See if you see these options, actually this is with my data in from the database. When I click on add record, I will show you how it is happening. See here I'm getting serial number. Okay, I'm giving some number as 3. For example 3 is primary key, so it will throw error. And first name I will give anybody of your name, Saurabh. Okay, Kumar or something. Okay, some email address. So when I click on save, see that record is added here. Okay, in the UI, but we need to check as a unit testing when you're adding this one, is it adding in UI only, and is it adding in backend also? Sometime what will happen if it is adding here, if you refresh your page, okay, the data sometimes will miss, means that is what is happening, because when you refresh your page every time it will go some backend call and it is retrieving some data and displaying. For example this one I will show you in the browser, then you guys understand how it is working. Okay, so for that we'll close all this. I will open fresh browser. I will copy same URL here. Okay, you got this data, right? So inspect element, you guys know, right? Because this data is coming as a Ajax call. With that you remember this is JSON data only we are showing here. To check that one, there is a network tab. Okay, I will refresh this data. When you refresh, it is loading some files. You guys observe here some jQuery JTable plugins. At the top we are added some CSS, jQuery and all, right? So that all related resources loaded. Apart from that, we need some more thing, like see there is a action card controller colon action equal to list. Okay, this action is fired when you load your page. So if you're clicking on this, I got some data response, you can check. See result okay, and records. I have some few records, like totally 3 records. This I can see in preview. See this is my key. I have 0, 1, 2, 3 total 4 records. Array index will start from 0, right? So I have these are the records. We got totally 4 records. If you see in the UI, you have 4 records. So this data only we are showing here. But for to configure this one, what we are doing, we are simply writing simple HTML, just passing the where it is controller.java. Now this I will show you where it is. We are defining index.jsp. See, we are just mentioning our action and making this title. See, title, key list, and create true. Suppose if I remove this create true, right? What will happen? I will show you. I will remove create true now. So when you're clicking on save button, right? So it will not visible in the UI now. Okay. So I will show you. When I refresh, okay, we'll see this will reflect or not, or else yeah. See now serial number came, not came, right? Why? Because I removed one configuration here, like create true I removed. Okay. So for example, Control Z. If I make it as create true, when you create new record, it will ask for serial number. That is a using for this create true. After that, suppose you don't want to show in the list, we can make and one more, edit is equal to false, means when you're editing, right, you want to show first name or not. Suppose I want to make for example edit. When I clicking on edit, I will cancel this. Now when I click on edit, I want to show which are the columns. For example here now it is showing only last name, and after that, sorry, when I click edit, see only 2 columns are showing, last name and email. Why? Because we are giving first name edit equal to false. That's why in edit we are not showing first name. Okay, and also these titles are there, right? I can change this. Instead of first name, I can change it as surname or something. Okay, we'll see how it is reflects here. For that we need to refresh our code. See here, surname, it modified to header surname. Title is used for surname, this surname. You're able to see, right? So I want you guys understand this fields how it is working. And also this is should be matched with your JSON data. JSON data means the response we are getting, right? I showed you response. Where is our response? Here. If you see, this column name is first name. Okay. Suppose if you change first name, instead of first name, if you give other than this column, for example, I will make it as a name. It won't work. Why? Because there is no column name inside JSON data. Okay, if you observe here, anywhere name is there, only last name, first name is there, and one more key, email and user ID. So there is no key called name. So when you refresh this one, it will fail now constructing. We saved that one. You need to save this. Okay. So now we need to refresh. See, surname column came empty. Why? Because there is no column called name inside your JSON data. Okay. To check that one, how we can check? Here if you see, first name is there, user ID, last name. Okay, that is very important. Your these are like whatever here you mentioning, that should be same as your keys in your whatever data you are retrieving. Okay, you understand, right, that one? So here should match with our JSON data. So that is the purpose of this one. You should match with that one. Okay, so title is used for headers, and also width is for column width and all. Okay, for that purpose. After that, when you update, right, when you click on update or something, we need some ID we need to submit, right? For that we need to use this key. Okay, so when you make it as a key, that key is used for primary key to update the data. We'll see action called update. When you click on edit screen, you modify something like Chaitanya is there, right? So I will remove Kolluri, just I will make it as a Chaitanya. Okay, now I will save it. We'll see here how it will work. Okay, I will click on save button. There is a one action will fire. Okay, that is called update action. Okay, I'm clicking on save now. See now there is an action called update action is fired. We got result is okay. Okay, and we can check the how request is sent. There is a request body, we can check it. Okay, so this is where we need to debug your Ajax calls and all. You see here, user ID equal to 1, last name Chaitanya, email. Okay, so all your data form data it is submitted. Okay, this user ID how it is coming, even you clicking on edit, we are able to see only last name and email, but still user ID is going in the form. So that is the purpose of this key. Key is equal to true means it is used to make it as a ID, and it will be used for updating some data. Okay, so that is the purpose of this key. If you want to use, when you update any data based on ID only, it will update. If you see DO layer, there is a DO layer, right? They will update this data based on some ID. If you see the queries related to this one, I will show you in backend how this ID is using. Okay, there is a models here, some queries will be there. There is update query. I want to show you update query. So where is update query? See here, update table set last name, email, and where user ID is equal to, means based on user ID. So that user ID how we are getting, it will be passed from the see here, get user ID. Means we are setting some values to user like email, last name, and user ID we are setting. Based on this question mark means it is called prepared statements. We call it as a prepared statement. Just remember that prepared statement used to pass the parameters dynamically. Means these values we don't hard code here. Because of using prepared statements, some security vulnerabilities we will achieve. Okay, people can't pass any junk values. for hacking and all. SQL injection, that is again separate concept. When you pass some variables from the your input form, right? Suppose from the here I'm diverting some topic, but it is important. There is a SQL injection, we call it as. Means what we can do it from your form, you can pass query here. Suppose I will write select star from, I will make it as true something. Means I can hack based on some queries. I can hack the data and I will destroy your data, or else I will get the data. This is called SQL injection. So whenever using special character or something, where 1 equal to 1, means it will make the condition something true, like they will make some query to spoil your data or else get the data. They means some people can hack your data by using providing this kind of query in your HTML form. When you submit this one, this query will be executed. Suppose you don't written code, not handling any security related things, then your code will be giving chance to some hackers to easily destroy your database, everything. Okay, so when I write like this data will be collapsed everything. So for that purpose, there is a concept of prepared statements. So that prepared statements will be useful to avoid this kind of SQL injections. Okay, just remember that. I'm not going in depth because the topic is diverting again. So here just remember, based on ID we are updating. That's what I want to show you. This user ID how we are getting from the controller, means from the request. If you see our request, from the UI we need to go. From UI, when you clicking an action update, right, it will submit whatever data you require to submit. For example, edit true, whichever you given. See, edit true, and making its keys true. So based on this edit true, whichever fields are there, that values plus this key value, it will be sending along with this action. We are seeing right here in the UI. You see here, last name, email, the last name and email and user ID. These three things are submitting into the backend. So it will hit in the backend in the controller, because we are giving third controller here. There is a update action here. We are checking for the update action. You see here, where is update action? Yeah. If either the action is equal to create or update, okay, whatever your data sending, that data we are getting based on get parameter user ID, because we have parameter called user ID. So if you see in the UI, we have parameter user ID. So it has to match with that name, same thing. Okay, if it is small or capital, it will mismatch. Okay, same like that, we have first name. If you see here, we have the parameter called, because they're setting whichever available, only those will get. At present we have last name, so that's why we are checking not null. Not null means if first null is not null, then only set that parameter. Okay, because we are using commonly for create and update. For creation we required all the information. For updation we are using only last name and user ID and email. Okay, so that's why they're keeping some common condition for create and update. If that value is not null, only set that values. Okay, but the get parameter means how we are getting request, your request, what we are submitted request data here, user ID, last name and email. Now I will show you create a request also. So I will clear this. How create request also going. Create means add new record. Now I'm creating new record with some ID, like I will give 5. Sir, okay, surname is something you can tell, what you will give, or else first name or something. We call it as yes. And okay, 23@gmail.com. Okay, so when I do this one, when I click save, immediately one more action it will be called. That action, what that action, if you see here, we have different actions: create, update, delete. So there is a one more action. If you see here, create action will be there. So that action will be fired, create action. So when you clicking on this save, there is a one a call. See here, one action is fired, ajax call, this is called. Okay, if you see here header, in the header you can see the what is the request object. Okay, request header. In the request header we can see the values. See what are the things it went: user ID, name, last name, email. Okay, why it is name means we modified earlier it as a name, that's why it is going as a name. I think somewhere we modified, right? I think we didn't save that earlier. Yeah, that's why it is coming as. that one. Okay, so now we'll see what is the response also we are getting. Yeah, so it is saved and it retrieving that's data, whatever data is inserted, the data is coming. So in the back end, how we will check your data is saved or not? Early yesterday I showed you, right? There is a MySQL database, there your data will be stored. Okay, so I will show you now. Open this one. This data should be exist in your database. These are how many records we have? 5 records. And this should, okay, this surname is still, surname is showing, means we are not refreshing the UI, I think. Yes, now it is coming. Krishna, Sudhir, Saurabh. Okay, and also one more thing. Okay, this header I want to change it as a first name. Okay, just for showing you guys how it is working, I just modified. I'm reverting everything. Now with this surname will modify to first name. Okay, this is coming. Now I want to show this data in our database. For the database, actually we have, I told you, right, there is a ready-made thing, like it will provide GUI, graphical user interface, for the creation of records and databases, tables, everything. So I will run that WAMP server. So WAMP means Windows, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So this is generally combination. They have some ready-made complete stack. We'll use that one. Means in that I'm use only MySQL. I don't run Apache. I don't run PHP engine. I don't run Windows, nothing. I will use only PHP admin is a tool for running for MySQL. Okay, so this is for tool to use for MySQL. I'm using that tool. My means I'm going to show you MySQL database by using graphical user interface provided by some PHP MyAdmin is a tool. Okay, just that remember. So here our database is UserDB. I showed you, right, our database is UserDB. So if you refresh here, I think user data, not UserDB. Is this one? No. Yes. See here, 4 records are there. Whatever you insert, the data is coming and inserting here. See, just keep here, keep in one eye here. I will add one more record. That record is coming in your database. Now again one more record I will add here. Okay, 5, first name. Somebody names you guys. Jeevan is there, right? Jeevan. Last name Jeevan Kumar something I'm giving. Okay, Jeevan dot bms at the rate gmail.com. So when I save this, now you guys keep on one eye. The records will be refreshed and it will add to this table. There is a table called TBL user. Okay, this table will be inserted now from the UI. So when I click on save, I will go here. You refresh over here. You need to refresh. See, Jeevan Kumar is coming here. Understand that? Means this is backend database to store your data. Okay, but real time to check this one, what we need to do, there is a queries we can write, SQL queries, select star. If you see here, select star from TBL user. These are called edit inline. I will show you. See, this is the query it will execute internally. Normally MySQL, if you see, we need to execute these queries in some editor like command prompt, you know guys, right? So there we have to install MySQL. You can execute by using command line queries. Okay, so instead of that, it is giving simple UI. You don't need to remember these queries, but better to have to understand this query. Select star from the table name. If you give, it will retrieve all the records. For example, if I keep some where condition, where user, for example, what is our column name? User ID is there, right? I will use one user ID is equal to, suppose if I give 1, what it will retrieve? User ID 1 means it should retrieve this data, this row. See, I got one record where user ID 1 means it is retrieving this one. Okay, so this is for queries, SQL queries, basic understanding how to write SQL queries and all. Okay, so before that actually I created this database and table. Okay, and I just matching with this column names. If you see column names here, first name, last name, email, this 4 thing, user ID, these 4 things should match with your, there is a DO layer I showed you, right, you guys, user.java. See here, it has to match with this column names. User ID, first name, last name. We have 4 columns, right? So whenever your database column should match with this class column names, because we are using, this is a columns we are displaying as our data. So that's why we should match whatever database columns names here we are using. It has to be matched with that. Okay. And we are doing some configuration yesterday I showed you, but I'm repeating again. So to connect that particular database, we have some configuration. Okay. For example, we have that is running in localhost, because my PHP MySQL is running in localhost, and by default MySQL having the port number 3306, and we have database name called UserDB. It is not case sensitive. Okay, that's why we are using UserDB. If you see here, our database name UserDB. Okay, after that, root opening PHP starting here, it is asking for username and password, right? I don't have any password, so I kept empty, and username is root. Okay, in real time we should have password, some password will be there, so that password you have to provide here. This is for connecting your Java application with any database. Here we are using MySQL database. This is clear, right? So again, coming from back to our UI. So now I'm going to modify. So one more action I need to show you, right? There is a delete action. Okay, when I click on delete, that record should be deleted. Okay, so when I click on delete, it will ask confirmation. When I click delete button, it will submit one more action. If you see action, there is an action called delete. See here, there is a delete action. It went. You can check that the request and response headers. See, response came okay, means your action is success, and header you can check it here. Means request header. What is the request header we sent? We will send only simple ID, because we will use based on user ID. Okay, we will delete the data. So that's why it is simply sending user ID. So if you see that code in the controller, where it will hit this action, and it will check which action it is fired. So our action is delete. So it will come to action equal to delete. This code of block our controller will hit. Then it is looking for the user ID, because user ID we are passing, it is not equal to null. Then it will come to here, it will get that particular user ID value and storing into this variable. Then it will do the delete operation. In DAO layer we will write the queries. Okay, so there is a delete user, one query will be written inside DAO layer. Where is our DAO layer? This is a DAO layer. See, if you see here, there is a action called delete user. I'm trying to guide to understand from front end to back end flow how it is going on. See, here delete user is there. We are getting the user ID from the controller here. From the controller, we are passing user ID. If you see the controller, we are passing user ID to delete user method. Okay, suppose it is coming, because when you request object, it is by default it is in the form of string, but that string we need to convert it into integer. So for that, in JavaScript, in Java we have integer dot parseInt, means string it is will convert into integer. That's why we are using this method. So this delete user method, we are passing user ID. So this method is defined inside DAO layer. So the DAO is here. So there is a delete user. So here we're writing the query delete from table name where user ID equal to, this is prepared statement, question mark if you are seeing, this is called prepared statement. Okay, so user ID we are setting, and it will execute that prepared statement and it will update. See, same thing we are doing from the coding. Suppose you want to test it is in database, we can write same query and manually we can delete in the database, and it will reflect in the UI. Okay, I will show you how it is. Now we deleted one record, right? For example, based on we just clicked on delete and we deleted that record. What happened? There is server is stopped or what? Okay, so just it is hiding. Okay, see, the delete is deleted, right? But if you see here in the database, the data should not be available now. When I execute this same query again, because with user ID 1 already deleted, so when I run this query, it should not return any data. See, there is no data came with user ID 1 because it is deleted. If you see directly, if you want to see all the data, without any where condition. If you write select star from the table name, it will give you the all the data. So all the data it came, but with id 1 is not there. Why? Because we deleted from the our UI. Means it will update in the database, it will remove the data. Okay, for testing purpose, here you can test it that query. Okay, same query whatever we're writing from the programming, so we can test it in the database here. For example, I will, for testing purpose, I will write here where user ID equal to, we have user ID with 2 is there, right? I will delete that one. Okay, delete from table where user ID equal to 2. So when I execute this one, it is asking do you want to really, so row is executed. Now if you see your table, see with user id 2 is deleted. But how we are doing? Through programmatically we are doing, instead of we are executing this query here from the UI, you will pass some action. You want to delete or update or whatever you want to do, we are passing some data, then that code will be executed in Java, then the Java is connecting into database. There it will perform some action, means some queries, either you have to update or you want to delete or you want to create new record. So that is called, we are doing some database operations by using from UI. Means UI means user interaction. So user interact with some actions, that action will be propagated to Java code. The Java code, based on your action type, it will execute some queries by connecting database, then it will update the data. This is the complete flow. This is called full stack. If you understand little bit about database queries, if you understand about little bit the Java logic, and if you understand about UI logic, that is called full stack. You guys clear, right? How data is propagating from UI to backend and from backend to again UI. Okay, so that's what I'm showed here. This is the complete flow. Now if we'll go for again for UI part, because it is enough, I'm explaining more about backend code. Now we'll go for this plugin. So how it is knowing this one? So when you're using some create button, it is going this action. When I create, when you update some action, it is going for this action. How it is knowing means that predefined functionality based on this one, they've written some code inside this JavaScript. Means we are including some JavaScript right at the top. So that is the like plugins. Plugins means predefined functionalities. So it will provide you the simple syntax. You just use like this, whichever action you want to do, pass that action, it will execute everything. So like that, plugins will provide you the some kind of rules. You want to follow this rule, then you will get the, this is the output. Like that they will tell. So by using this one, you are not able, you don't need to write much CSS, you don't need to write much complex code. Everything it will take care. Okay, that you clear, right? Now I want to show you pagination and sorting, those things. If you see here, already based on our data, maybe sorting is not there, because this is a basic example how to retrieve the data we are showing. Now I want to keep it here something sort. Okay, some sort icons, those things I want to do. We will go for this jQuery JTable documentation, how we can implement. Okay, so if you go here, I'm clicking on documentation or getting started, anything we can click. Okay, so here we will go for documentation. So there is an example JTable with Java, some example we got. So I want to show you these configuration examples. Actually, there is a getting started will be there. Okay, here getting started. See pagination and sorting and using functions and selecting rows and filtering records. So these are the different options and validations. So based on, suppose if you want to implement now pagination and sorting, clicking on that, what we need to do. See, this is the out here we are getting in the blue color, right? There is a themes also, based on you can choose the themes. Okay, there is an option to choose themes. This is blue color theme. At present I'm showing as a red color theme. For that theme is coming on the based on your included some CSS. See here crimson I'm using. There is a different colors related CSS we can use. So according to that, it will change the look and feel. Okay, just CSS, based on CSS you can download whichever theme you want, you can download, then that coloring will be modified. Okay, so that is like predefined, you can just download. If you here see, there is a themes, different themes, you can get it to whatever theme. See, there are different kind of themes. At present what we are showing, this is the crimson. Okay, suppose you want to use different dark gray, metro style green. See here, these are like simple, these are all are CSS only. Whatever you choose requirement, you can pass that one. For example, if I pass this one, I will show you, because these all themes are already downloaded in our local files, so it will be available. If I change this one, metro slash, we'll see how this will be reflect or not. We'll see. I will refresh. Means that file is not there, that's why that CSS is gone. So for that path we need to check here what is the path for that, because that is in metro side. This is sunny. Where is this red color? Okay, metro style dark gray is there, right? Because there is a folder called metro, there inside we have different coloring, so I'm using at present that one. So if you go that CSS folder, inside we have this all themes. To check that one, you can go to, so now theme will be modified. We'll refresh here. It is not reflecting. Okay, I will show here. There is a CSS folder inside here, metro. Okay, at present we have inside crimson. Okay, so at present it is supporting for related to only crimson only. That's why it is coming. If you want to use another CSS, we need to download here. There is a downloads, right? There will be a downloads here. There you need to choose your theme, and we need to download. See here, if you open a new tab, we have, you can choose the themes and all. Well, this theme roller, so we can select here where we can get these themes. That's what I'm looking into. So based on these themes, we need to download some files related to CSS, then you will get it. Just include that file, you will get that one. Theme roller. Okay, you guys understand that if you want to download that particular folder of CSS, you need to include in this path. Here at present crimson is there, so the related to that one only it is giving. We are giving that path here, CSS metro slash. Okay, so it is giving that related CSS. If you want to use different CSS, means see, this is based on jQuery UI only. That's why they redirected to jQuery UI here. Here you can select themes. I will show you. For example, you guys will think this is difficult. This is not that difficult. You can choose some theme. Okay, where is this theme? Yeah, download theme. So we can choose our fonts and colors, everything we can choose here. Means it is called customization. Okay, when I click on theme, right, so we can choose different font and what are the widgets you want, everything we can select, and you can download that particular CSS. So these all are theme smoothness, UI darkness. Okay, so I will use UI lightness. Okay, so when I click download, it will download that CSS, show in folder. Just how you can manage your themes, I'm trying to show you. Okay, this is the thing, right? So we can copy here related to jQuery UI.css, something will be there. We need to copy that theme. There are different files, right? We need to paste it. I will paste it here. For example, here, see that related so many images. This all required. So here I don't want to spoil this at present our project. Inside this CSS, okay, you can copy whatever you want. So related the theme files means one CSS, it is mingled with so many images, icons, and also whatever related images also you need to copy paste here. So here if you see here, there is images folder and CSS folder. So like that we need to copy all related files of that particular theme. For example, here images are there. So this image folder is required. These are like sprite images. Okay, whatever is showing some background color. So this will come from the based on this images only. Okay, and this jQuery UI CSS. So if you include these two, the theme will be modified, but the theme to reflect, you need to give the path of that one. For example, if I add one more folder here, like theme name is called light darkness something, I will give folder name. Inside that I will add related all CSS things. Then if I include that CSS here, that particular theme will be reflected. That's all. Theme to change, you need to customize some whatever theme you want to download, that images and CSS files you need to include and give the path of that CSS. That you clear, right? So my main intention is now I want to show pagination and sorting. These two things I want to show you. Okay, we're just diverted into different thing. Okay, but you need to know about the documentation. Always this any data grids all will be related on based on documentation. If you go for Angular, right, there is a material design. Material design means it is providing some inbuilt UI components. For example, now we are using JTable, so no need to depend on any external JTable plugins. Angular providing their own plugins for this data grids and date picker. Okay, I will show you date picker. Date picker means when you clicking on text box, right, you will show some calendar kind of thing, that is called date picker. When you're using jQuery, we can easily implement date picker. Okay, but there is a date type in HTML5. We have input type equal to date. If you give that one also, we'll get the date calendar. But there is a difference between jQuery date picker and normal input type date. What is the basic difference is it having more controller and look and feel is more gooder than normal input type HTML5 input type date. jQuery date picker having more flexibility, modify some conditions. For example, in railway and all, you don't need to book more than 2 months. You can't book the railway tickets in India. Okay, so you want to disable date after 3 months. You want to try to choose. Okay, or else some conditions like you should not select date not more than today date or something like that. You want to restrict that conditions on calendar. You can write in jQuery easily. So that kind of flexibility they provided earlier. jQuery everybody using for those kind of things. But now Angular is providing date picker, means they have their own implementation written in Angular, means it is native Angular. Internally JavaScript, whatever you written anything either jQuery or Angular, the basic concept internally is JavaScript only. Okay, but they will provide their own documentation. Just remember, if this kind of things now in Angular we can implement, no need of depend on jQuery or something. But you guys should know when you are UI developers, you should know like these plugins we can use. Okay, there is a chart.js and n number of plugins are there. Suppose you want to show some pie diagrams or chart diagrams you want to show, so how we can show that also. One session I will show you one plugin. Okay, there is a chart.js that I will show you. We can show some pie diagrams, bar diagrams, and so many things. Okay, just I'm just focusing on again to this pagination and sorting things. If I'm talking something, it's diverting to some other topic. So what we are going to do is pagination, right? Somewhere we are seeing pagination, where it is. Where is this option? This is we done already. Create, update, delete, basic example we have done. Okay. So I'm trying to show you implement sorting and pagination. That is my requirement. Where is this? Just give me 2 minutes. I want to show that examples. So we need to go for documentation. So here documentation, Java Web Application, JTable with Spring MVC. See, we are using in .NET, PHP, and so many web applications. So if you implement any plugin, means it should be flexible to all the languages. That's what I want to show. Okay, see the demos. Yes, the demos, pagination, and sorting. Yeah, this is the example I'm looking for. See here, main important thing is highlighted one, not this highlighted one. Sorry, where it went. If you see here, paging equal to true, page size is 10, sorting equal to true, default sorting equal to. So I will copy same things we'll implement in our case because we don't have much records now. Okay, so for that, what I will do it from UI, you can insert the data, or else manually we'll write some query to insert the data, and for testing purpose, indirectly we'll execute in the database side, and we'll see how it will work. Okay, because we need more than 10 records only, we are able to see the pagination. Okay, so I'm going to modify here. I will add these properties. Okay, means paging true means I'm giving pagination is enabled, and per page I want to, you can change the 10 number to anything. Okay, sorting equal to true and default sorting equal to based on some column I want to do. At present we have some column called first name. We'll give pass this name, first name we will give, or else we can give header name. I think whichever header you want, we need to give this header name. Okay, we'll see. Here instead of 10 I will give 5, or else some thing by default it is 10. We'll see 5 records how it is coming. I will refresh now. This server is restarted. Okay, okay, this change first. Here we need to modify this. I given dark gray, right? What is this? Crimson. We have folder name called Crimson. If you see CSS folder inside, there is a Metro. Inside that there is a folder called Crimson. So based on that only, we are getting all the CSS about the JTable. See, after applying CS, this is looking good. Okay. See, now I'm getting, actually I have only 5, total 3 records only. That's why I'm not able to see go to page. These pages will be coming if you have more records. But by default is 5 records. By my total records is not coming because we need to now define, there is a total records, something we need to define. Okay, means from the back end, we need to set some records like total records value and number of pages. These things we need to define. So that's why these are coming undefined. To do that one thing, we can add some records from the UI. Okay, for adding from the UI, it is very difficult, right? Every time you click on adding. Okay, for example, I'm adding now because I want to add some records now again. So we'll add some few records. Here I'm trying to understand you guys to understand pagination, how we have to implement. Okay, actually in real time you no need to give serial number. Serial number is auto increment. So in backend only it will increment. From the UI you no need to pass the IDs will be created in the database, automatically it will increment. So that's why we can do it, create equal to false, we can make it. And in database when you create your table, you should make it as a auto increment. Okay, so that we will do later. I will show you first this functionality. I'm giving some dummy data. Okay, so like this adding is burden, right? So if you want to add 10 records, it is very difficult, right? So for that, what we'll do, we'll go to our database. When you refresh, whatever data we added, it will reflect here. See, the data is came. Now I'm trying to insert query. Sorry, it's disconnected. You guys able to hear me? Hello? Okay. So just disconnected. You guys, now you can just concentrate on here. So what I'm trying to do is, I want to show you, take the query of existing one. We'll make it as, we'll execute same query. There is an insert query. When you're creating, there should be one insert query. Okay. So I will take this one. So in real time, how this query will work, I will show you. Now in database, I'm trying to execute this query multiple times. Okay. This values I will pass. User ID 3 and name is this question mark is actually one value we need to enter. After that, last name is and email. Okay, so I'm inserting this data now. So when you execute this, this is the insert query. You guys just trick. Normally when you use this one, better to use keywords as capital letters. Insert is a keyword. Okay, insert into whatever your table name. We have table name called table user and your column names and values. Okay, now execute, click and go. Some query, what is, okay, 3 is already exists because foreign key. Primary key means it should be unique. 3 with 3 record is already exists. That's why it is throwing error. I will give 8. Okay, this is called primary key violation. Okay, unique key constraint they will call. So now it is inserted. Okay, means instead of from our application, we are directly executing query in the MySQL database. So there also, if you see here, the record will be available here. But in UI, that will not be reflected now. Why? Because we are not calling the database, means we are not refresh our data. If you refresh, because that list query will get all the data from the backend, from the database. When I refresh here, whatever we added 8 data, it will come here. I will refresh. Now if you observe, 8th record is not there. When I just refresh, you will get the record. See here, means what we are doing, we are fetching the data from the database. Whatever data is available in the database through Java programming, we are retrieving and showing in the UI. This is the concept of retrieving data from the backend. So backend means this is your backend database, middleware means Java program, and we are retrieving the data. Okay, so that is you clear, right? Now we have how many records? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, but why it is, because by default it will show 10 records, because we don't have 10 records now. So to make it as at least some 10 records, we'll execute same query multiple times. Okay, but when you are doing that one, we need to maintain primary key concept. See, primary key concept means we should not use id repeated, it should be unique. Now 9, I have to copy this code, I forgot to copy. Okay, this is the last time we'll do it, later we'll copy paste it. Okay, so one more thing, some dummy data, but in real time you should not pass like this. Let to give some proper data. I will copy this query because we'll use same, but ID will be changed. Control A, Control C. So I will execute same insert query multiple times. Okay, at last I will show you this all records will be added in your database. Okay, because of this execute query, I will change every time this ID, because if you use same ID, it will throw error. Because we are making, when creating table, we have some property called primary key kind of thing. So primary key means unique key. See, I'm not modified this ID, so that's why it is thrown error. Now same data I'm inserting with different IDs. Okay, in real time it will be not like that. The primary will be combination of email ID and some other IDs. Okay, present this is for sample application, I'm inserting this way. Okay, now we will go and write select star from table. We can write, or else clicking on the table you will get all the data. See, now I have this many records. Okay, suppose I want to see this, I'm not able to count these records. We can write one query called select count star. Okay, if you write that select count star, it will give you the count of records. Select, this is like queries basics, count star, COUNT, count of star from, what is your table name, TBL user. Okay, so when I clicking on go, okay, spelling wrong, count star. Okay, how many records you got? Count 12. If you want to make it as some alias here, we can make it as alias. Alias means we can give name as count star as total records, as total. Okay, when I keep this one, clicking on, see here, total 12 means we have now total records 12. Okay, so now we can make it as a pagination, because we have pagination true option is there. When you go for your index.jsp, we'll make it as a default value 10, because they mentioned default page size, that should be 10, page size will be 10. Okay, now we will refresh. We should get now all the data here. Actually pagination not properly working here. Why? We need to see in the documentation. When you give this one, there is one more option we need to pass, I think. Pagination true, page search. Okay, and we need to pass total records or something, I think so. Okay, sorting we need to make it as, we want to make it as sorting true or false, we can mention, that is fine. And I'm looking for one more thing, it is pagination not working properly. Paging true, okay, that is fine. I remember actually we should you implement some total number of records also we need to pass. Okay, I will make it here. What is your column name here? First name, because of this. Then paging page size is equal to 10. Sorting false. If you don't want to show sorting, we can make it as a sorting false. So now we'll refresh and we'll see sorting is coming. At least we need to see the sorting. So the sorting options will come, right? See here, it is sorting your data. That working sorting? Working properly. Default sorting is asserting based on this one. Now we have one more key called sorting. I don't want to use for, I will give here create false, as while creating I don't want to show this one, and I want to make it as sorting true. Okay, so we'll see now, at least first name should be sortable proper. Script injector web extension. Actually, these icons are coming, but some functionality is not working. So I want to see why it is not working. Icons are coming, but if you are observing right, the data is not sorting. Okay, so we need to go through our documentation. What are the things we need to follow for this to work? Okay, so sometime we should call. We'll see what are the things required for this. There is a JSON format they will tell, and we need to pass this one. See, here there is a limit they are using. Based on that limit, we need to retrieve this data. Okay, see, so every time they will pass this limit. So we are at present, if you are clicking on some pagination or page, there will be request will be going, and it has to be get the that particular records. And also same thing for sorting also. Yeah, got it. So it will pass some, so you need to modify some backend functionality according to your front end actions. So when you're clicking on that sort, right, we need to send some parameters. I think it will send some parameters to backend. If you observe here in network, when I click sort or something, some action will be fired. See, I will clear here first. At present, we are not implemented that backend actions. So when I click sort, see, yes. At present, we are not implemented these actions in the backend. See here, start index 0, page size is 10, and last name equal to descending. Okay, when you clicking on icon called down button, it will go this request. Okay, I will clear again. When I click again this one upper button, now it will go ascending order. So that request parameters you can see here down. See now, based on last name, I want to do ascending, and I want to get the 0 comma 10. 0 comma 10 means first page I will get first two. Okay, when I clicking on second page, it will go, there is a different limit. So this limit, how it will work, I will show you. I will show you one query in the database, how that limit is working, I will show. So when I clicking on second page, it will send the some limit. Okay, there is a backend call it is going. So if you see here, see, start index is 10, page size is 10, means it will take 10 comma 10. Means suppose you have records 20 records, first page will get 0 1 to 10, means second page you should get 10 comma 10, right? That is called limit. So to show that one, we have some queries. If you see here, they've written some queries back and what you need to represent. For example, if you are going for ascending order 20 comma 10 means in reverse way, or else if you give as a index 10 comma 20, it will fetch the from the last 20. This is giving the last 10 records. Okay, so like that we have to pass some parameters about the page and number of pages and number of records. So based on that, it will count calculate the from which index it has to be start index and last index, it will calculate, and it will fetch the 10 records only. Every time you will get 10 records, but based on your page number. Okay, suppose you have 100 total records is 100. So 100 by suppose you have how many pages you can make it. Suppose you have want to show 10 records per page. How many pages? 100 by 10 means 10 pages you can able to show, right? Suppose you are coming for you are clicking on page number called third. Third means from which records we need to fetch. Okay, so for that we need to use some calculation to get that particular index. Means 30 records, if you want to get 20 comma 10, you should use 20 comma 10 as a limit. Means it will get the third block of 10 records, it will fetch. That is called pagination logic. Sometime in interviews they will ask about this pagination logic, how you will implement pagination, what is the logic. Okay, so for that I will show you some query here. Okay, for example, in our query we have total how many records. We had 12 records, right? I want to show first 5 records. I will write one query here, you guys can observe here. Okay, so whatever they're given here, this query, the same format. Okay, I will show you how the data will be fetched. I will show you for your understanding purpose. I'm showing in the database itself. I'm not passing this query from the UI because we need to implement this logic in our data Java code also. So at present, for the understanding purpose, I'm showing this one. Okay, suppose I want to get the our table name is select star from, what is the table name? TBL user. Okay, order by some, we have first name, right, in our columns, database columns. First name we are using. I want ascending order. Suppose I want to display first 1 comma, I can give, what is the query here? He is using 20 comma 10, but we don't use 20 10. We'll get first 1 comma 5, we'll give 1 comma 5. So we'll see what is the output here. What it is showing based on num, because we are giving ascending order, right? From the last, it is showing last 5 records because it is ascending order. Okay, based on first name, it is showing the last 5 records. It is showing. Suppose if you give, I don't mention ascending order of anything. Okay, just I will give limit only. Suppose select star from table user, limit 1 comma 5 means first 5 records I will get. See, first 5 records I got 1 3 4 5 8. Okay, suppose if you don't mention any limit, I will get all the records. Limit is used to stop some particular records only. Okay, when I give like this, I will get all the records. I'm getting all the records. Suppose I want to, based on which column I want to, ascending order or descending order, I can mention. Or else I want only getting the first 10 records or getting first 5 records. What I can do it is like this. We can do it. Limit 1 comma 10. Okay, so it will give you the first 10 records. Okay, understanding, right? Because of this query, that 1 comma 10 and all we will pass from the our UI based on you selected second page means we'll pass 10 comma 20. Okay, suppose you are clicking on third page means 20 comma 30. Suppose you're clicking on fourth page means 30 comma 40. Like that we'll send the limit. So based on that only, always you will get the that particular 10 records only. That's why we are using here how many page size we are giving here, means how many things you want to display in your thing in UI, how many pages you want to display. Okay, that is the purpose of this page size. You understand, right? So that is about simple pagination and sorting we can able to implement. For that, actually in database Java side you have to implement that logic also. Whatever our code at present, Java code is implementing for getting and updating and creating and deleting simple CRUD applications I am showed you. Okay, so this is a simple example. Now jQuery UI, I want to show, I talking about some date picker and all, right? I will show you some date picker here, how we can implement date picker. Okay, I will modify this code. I will show you some date picker here itself. Okay, I will in same application we can do it. Okay, I will make it, I will show just how we can in through jQuery how we can show date picker. Okay, here I will declare one input type equal to give text. Okay, I want to give id is equal to my date. Okay, I'm giving some id like this. Okay, now I want to implement this text bus. I want to show, when I clicking on the text bus, I want to show one calendar. So for that we have some date picker functionality by calling the date picker method. So for that we can use like this, because in jQuery we have hash symbol because we already included jQuery, and we need to call the date picker method. There is a date picker. I will see I will show, I will check the syntax. The syntax is exactly I don't remember, but we'll see it will work or not. If it is not work, I will go to check the documentation and we'll see date picker method. What is the date picker method we'll use? Okay, I will refresh once. If it is coming okay, or else we'll go check the jQuery UI inside. What is the, so it is working. See how it is coming means, because to work with jQuery UI, means if you want to use date picker, we need to include jQuery plus jQuery UI. jQuery UI means this is the one. So I downloaded some, right, because we have already included for JTable this jQuery UI related stuff. See here it is there already. Means it will provide you this CSS styling and all this functionality related to. Means date picker is one feature of jQuery UI. jQuery UI has a number of features I told you, right? It is having like accordions, droppable, resizable, so many things like autocomplete. Okay, autocomplete also will work because it is very useful example for Ajax. Like in Google, if you type something, right, it will show some data. See, H is starting with H, whichever having H in the string, it is showing. Okay, so this is called autocomplete. So I will implement. See, this is a date picker we have used. We guys can go here and you can check the documentation. See, this is the what I showed you. And clicking on view source, you will get here basic example how to use. See, I'm calling like this date picker method I called. I declare one ID for the one input type text and just calling the function called date picker. When I clicking on the text box, you will get the output. But to work this method date picker and all, we need to include these things. See, CSS and jQuery UI and JS. So this is the thing main important. It is contain all your functionality. Means this plugins contains your major functionality related to this date picker. Suppose you are not included these files and you are trying to use date picker method, it will say date picker is undefined. Okay, suppose you are not included jQuery, it will say dollar is undefined. In browser console you can see these errors, means you are not properly loaded some of these files properly. So because of that you will get undefined for date picker, undefined for dollar and all. Okay, so I showed you same example here how to use date picker here. Okay, so when you use jQuery, we need to use dollar with ID of that particular and call the date picker method. It will show you the calendar. Okay, so that's what I showed you here. So if you want to do some other extra stuffs in the documentation, we can see, like I told you, right, some dates we can disable and enable some dates and all. So if you go for API documentation for that, it will give some different options. See here, so we have a number of options. On close, on select means when I, these are different actions on that particular date picker widget. Okay, so if I want to auto say before show, so when you working on real-time examples, right, you will get it to understand these things, but based on real-time examples they given some predefined features here. Okay, set date. Okay, suppose you want to set some particular by default date. Okay, how we can do that one? And you want to disable some dates. See, date format you can set. So these are different options. If you go through API, you will get it. I don't want to talk about this. Okay, just at present, we can use a number of related what you call options from jQuery UI we can use, because this jQuery UI also uses Bootstrap CSS. Bootstrap CSS means whatever CSS things you are seeing, right? Those are indirectly using Bootstrap related only. See this theming red color icons, this icons and all related to some CSS kind of stuff. So you are not writing any CSS, nothing. You're just including some files. You are getting everything as a ready-made. Okay. But before that, whatever previously we are talking about some CSS basics, you should know. Sometime we need to customize this all things. Okay. So that time you have to understand how that CSS is working. What is the basic property of color, font size? Those things you have to understand. Okay. So that's why I more concentrated initially on basics of that one. Okay, so I'm stopping our class today. So you guys, I will send you the complete backend code and UI code. Okay, you guys, if you want to do some more research and things, you guys can do. Who is want to do full stack, right? This example is very useful for you guys. Okay, so I will share this code everything, and you guys can implement that to extend some other functionalities like pagination and sorting. Those things, if you want to extend the functionality, you can guys can do it. Okay, this is clear, right? I'm stopping this topic today for pagination related this JTable. Tomorrow onwards, I told you, right, one shopping cart application, it will be interesting. From tomorrow we'll do some shopping cart application. simple way by using basic JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Then we'll jump into Angular. Our main target actually Angular. Before that, I am going to introduce these all things. But this is a very interesting and helpful for you guys. Okay, so I'm stopping here, class. Any doubts? 2 minutes. I'm giving to time for you guys. You guys can ask some questions. If you have any clarity, if I'm missing, just you can stop and ask immediately. No, for me, actually, I'm not feeling interesting. You guys not asking, not objecting, not raising any doubts. I don't know, you guys totally don't understand, or else you guys are understanding. I'm confused actually. Nobody asking. There are 4 or 5 guys are in our call, right? All are silent. Because of shy, or you guys are don't understand? You are not talking anything. I'm sometimes feeling I'm not clearly explaining you guys. That's why sometimes I'm repeating. Maybe you guys are not understanding. I'm getting doubt. Just I'm repeating my whatever telling. I'm repeating. Okay, let me know, guys, if you don't understand. No issues. I will try to explain things. If I don't know, I will learn and I will explain you. It's not issue. Okay, it's like a portion of things we should know in the development set. Okay.
Sure, Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm stopping your class here. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay. Bye.